Man. You know, growing up, I wanted to always go back in time. And the one era that I really wanted to go back to was the 80s. Because I always was fascinated with what was happening in that era. And just the fact, the whole thing about that era was great. Except one thing. The Packers sucked. So pretty much, from what we've been seeing this year, now I know what it was like to live in the 80s, so I really don't want to go back in time anymore. But enough saying, I mean, at least the Bucks are 9-0 to start the season. I mean, that's a good thing. I mean, come on. Yeah, this just isn't working out well. This is 5 straight losses now. 5 straight losses. I am not in a good mood right now. I'm trying to be happy, I'm trying to be positive, but I mean, at least we can sit there and say, hey, I mean, we're gonna get a good draft pick. I mean, I'm thinking where we're gonna end up is a top 10 draft pick. That's for sure. Yeah, now I get why no one traded to us. Yeah. I think we got a lot to get to today in today's video.
Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, about now, about now, about now.
What is poppin', y'all? It's man, Cloudboy Bills. Sad day here in Wisconsin. Very sad day here in Wisconsin. I have just been at a loss for what has been happening. Every day, every Sunday for the last 5 weeks, I've woken up. I feel optimistic. I think that things are going to go well. And then 3 hours later, I'm left with sadness. Yes, I am relating to my life and the Packers at the same time, but what can I do about it? I don't know. But at this point, there is really nothing to sit there and say because Rodgers is pretty much on the cusp of his downfall. We saw probably the worst game out of him out of his career. Yes, there were some things we could say that could be another of an issue. We had a total of, let's count how many people got injured today, because I actually have a list of it. Romeo Doubs, Eric Stokes, Christian Watson, David Bakhtiari, Rashawn Gary, John Runyon, Aaron Jones, Chris Barr, and Robert Tonyan. That's 9. Now 8, because John Runyon came back in and David Bakhtiari came back in. So a total of 9 people got injured in today's game. Okay, that's bad. But Rodgers, man, I don't know what I watched today out of him. He just looked bad. I mean, bad. Looking at it, 23, 43, 291 yards, a touchdown, and 3 interceptions. He's only sacked once, I mean, but quarterback rating was his lowest he's ever been, 53. And that's not good. 4 carries for 40 yards. Not much from your running game as well. They didn't run the ball like they should have. A.J. Dillon, 11 carries, 34 yards. Aaron Jones, 9 for 23. And Kylan Hill actually got a carry too. So, I mean, he made his debut this season. Alan Lazard led the way. 4 catches, 87 yards, and a touchdown. Josiah DeGuara, 5 for 41. Samori Troy, 2 for 34. This game was just beyond the most heinous of anything. There have been so many times the Packers were in the red zone, they should have scored, and they didn't score. Or in their Lions territory. And the fact is, we only were able to put up 9 points in this game against one of the worst defenses in the league, has by far got to be saying this team and this offense has nothing left. If you're sitting there and wonder, and the offensive line played actually decent. Now, I'm not going to say they played terrible. They only sacked him once. We didn't even sack I mean, our defense was actually really good in pass protection today. The run game was a little bit stiff. I mean, Jamal Williams had 24 carries, 81 yards. And the run game did some things, 117 yards on the ground. But, there were some things in the air that Detroit did do. But you know what? We've done worse. We've seen worse. We did throw. The only turnover came out of Jair Alexander. He had a pick last week. He had a pick this week. So, it's just not looking good. Injuries really are affecting things, and with all these people just getting injured and all that, it's just not really looking good for the Packers in any way, shape, or form. So looking at the rest of the schedule, I mean, you got the Cowboys, the Titans, the Eagles, the Bears, the Rams, the Dolphins, the Vikings, the Lions. There's no way we can come out of this and make the playoffs. I mean, even if a 500 record, there is no way, if how bad the offense is playing right now, we can even get out there. Rodgers has no trust in anybody. He's trying to throw too much, and it's not even going anywhere when we know running the ball is what we're good for. It's just, I get it. I know it sounds stupid that people are actually saying Love should actually start for the rest of the season, which once the Packers are eliminated, I'm assuming that's what will happen. But I can't sit here and stress enough that I don't know how they'll even get out alive. Rodgers is at his downfall, and it's crazy to even think about. I'm just trying to cope with all this stuff, and it's just unfortunate that this is what it's come to. But yeah, 7 more games. It's just, I think you gotta really try to hope that you can win all 7 of those games, even though it's gonna be too difficult. But it's become clear the Vikings likely will win the division now. And playoffs are a far sight, but honestly, even with the injuries, even with no one to throw to on offense and all that, you gotta go offense, all-out offense in this draft for Rodgers or Love, depending on what happens in the offseason. They got all the guys on the defense that they can really get with. This just sucks to really watch all this happen. But on the contrary, you gotta hope for the best. There's possibility things could turn around and they make the playoffs, but I don't think they got the shot. Yeah. I guess you gotta keep looking optimistic and just keep moving forward. So, without further ado, I'll just end my video because I don't really want to talk about any more of this game because of what happened. I mean, you saw so many opportunities for the Packers to actually win this game, and so many of these other games were opportunities that were winnable. They just couldn't do it. So, we just have no idea what's happening. So anyways, if you like what you see, subscribe below. Even though this video was absolutely disappointing because I was ranting about a loss, I can't do anything about that. But hopefully, I'll make more positive videos because that is what I'm supposed to do. Hey, I mean, I love doing this. That's why I started making videos in the first place for the last couple of years. But in the end, things will turn itself around. And you know what? What happens, happens. I guess we got a lot to look forward to in the future, even though some people aren't happy about it. But hey, let's just hope for the best. So, anyways, we'll see you next time. Go Pack, go.